Hi, Sarah.
Hello. Oh my goodness, you're dressed up.
Yes, for the event.
So am I.
I can see that.
You know, every year we've been
Yeah.
having Diwali events, and so many we've hosted together as well.
Yes, we
And
did.
this year we just have to go with a virtual event. So,
Like everybody else, there's nothing we can do.
yeah. Yeah, so okay, I'm just getting some logistics sorted out, and then I will go ahead and introduce you. So, let me just put that a bit higher. Yeah. So can you just show the decorations you guys did for 1 second before I? Sorry, I just want to show you because the office staff decorated my desk.
That's sweet. That's what we do normally.
I know with rangoli and then with some diyas as well. So
Yeah.
and then they made a sign as well. So, okay, so thank you all for joining me. And I just want to introduce Beena to you. Beena has been here. Sorry? No. That's fine. That's clear. Okay, so Beena has been in Singapore for 25 years. And Beena is a board member of Magic Bus. She's also the co-founder of Gala of Light, which is a charity based in Singapore supporting young people. Uh, Beena is a patron of the arts. She is a committee member of the SRT, Singapore Repertory Theatre, and she is also on the committee of the Singapore International Film Festival, which had the premiere of Crazy Rich Asians, which must have been a really, really fun affair. And apart from that, Beena is a very, very good friend of mine. And she has been a big supporter of my work even before she was a friend. And Beena, when I first came to Singapore, you actually saw my work at an event, and that was the first time you came and you liked something I did. And but that wasn't the start of our friendship. But that just shows that you
Yes.
are a patron
Yeah.
of.
I saw the potential, you mean?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, you're welcome. Because I did come for an event, and that's when I met you, and I think I bought one of
Yeah,
your most exquisite pieces uh,
flag.
that time with a very, very low pricing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm so glad that you liked it. And
Yeah, I really truly still like it.
so, Bina, why I decided to do this is because, you know, we live in this cultural melting pot, which is Singapore. And a lot of us celebrate each other's festivals, and but we still have a lot of unanswered questions about we do, how we celebrate, what is an appropriate way to celebrate, you know, things that we should do, not do, and maybe some questions that a lot of people have been wanting to ask and then haven't asked. Maybe I'll ask them and we'll take some questions from our
Absolutely.
audience watching as well. So Diwali is just around the corner, and we just have very, very few days left to go. But like a lot of festivals like Christmas and Chinese New Year, people start celebrating for Diwali way ahead of time,
That's right.
which is
Yeah.
very different from, you know, Muslim festivals where you can only celebrate Eid because after fasting you can't start celebrating before at all.
Yes.
So it's just a different way of celebrating. So what is it is a 1 day celebration, or the celebration starts? Can you just
So,
explain?
as you know, in India, they have many, many festivals related to different religion and different beliefs. But Diwali is one festival that all over India is celebrated with same passion, and it has the element of religion. There is a point of religious beliefs in that, but mostly it's about getting together with families and friends, and it's more of a fun event.
Yes.
It has become like a festival for people who are living abroad. You know, they have friends like family. They celebrate with them. So it's not really anything to do with fasting and all of that. This is just a fun festival of light and colors.
So even in Singapore, we see like when we go down Little India that it's already lit up.
Yes, yes,
And I know that all your parties and all the cards and all this
yes.
start so much ahead of time.
But that's
So
because I think initially, I think people used to be in India and they would celebrate for those 5 days with their families and friends. But now people are all over the place and, like to catch up with everybody on a Diwali day. And then we're just prolonging the whole party scene, basically just to be with all your friends and just celebrate as many times as you want. And I think Singapore is one of those places where they start decorating for Diwali way in advance, much before they start even in India. And that's
yes,
the same thing for Christmas. And I think it just brings that whole festival mood way in advance. And I think
yeah,
I
it's all
love that
lit
about
up
Singapore.
with lights and the other thing
Yes,
which is new for someone like even me is your the cards that you play a month in
yeah. Called
you
King Patti.
yes. So, you get together and part of the celebrations or the party
Yes.
beforehand are very much around
Eh,
cards that you play. And I was, just wanted to know the significance of that or the importance, or is it just so happens that it's become
Well, I
like,
think it's a myth or a belief or whatever people can say, but it's that legalized, that gambling thing that normally is looked down upon. People don't normally want to gamble throughout the year, but this is one time that it's legally allowed to gamble,
oh, great.
and it's not looked down upon. It's more like something that you do in Diwali. And
Yes.
I think it is connected with one goddess trying to play a game of dice with the husband. So it's like a bonding with your partner and things that it started off like that. But like they were talking about Parvati playing the game of dice with Shiva, and then how Shiva loses and she wins, and then she decides that whoever plays cards on Diwali day, I'll shine upon them. So it's a belief,
Okay. So it
Yeah.
really has
Yeah,
some
there
sort of
is, there's
religious
a,
basis as well.
yeah, so there is a like a world site where in Ellora caves that there is this game of dice that's the whole thing is carved on a stone where Parvati is playing dice with her husband, and it's almost like strip poker. So there is a
Wow.
fun element to it.
Oh
It's
my
actually
goodness.
quite a interesting story. Let's not get too much into it because this is again just something that I've heard and I've read and all of that. So I don't know how much truth there is behind it. But that's how the whole game of cards started.
But that's so nice because it's a learning experience for me as well. Because and as
Yeah.
so many of our friends like they play cards with together, but the significance of it and whether or not it's really a part of the festivities is
Yeah,
it's
it just
lovely.
becomes, yeah.
You
It's
know,
just a part of festivity. I mean, there is a story behind it, but you never know if it's the myth or it's actual story and has any meaning to it. It's just that you interpret everything as per what you've heard or you've grown up with, right? And that
right.
becomes your belief.
So
We play
Bina,
cards mostly. Sorry?
we celebrate before with all of you and we have a good party time together, but
Yeah,
I know like on the day of Diwali is a more quieter time for you and you just
yeah.
get very few friends together and you spend some time praying
No,
and
so basically, you do on the day of the Diwali, you do the prayers for the goddess Lakshmi, who's the goddess of wealth and fertility and prosperity. So you do that part in the big. That's what we do. We do the prayers with some of our close friends who have been coming to my puja for like last 20 years. So we get together for the prayers, and then after the prayers are done, then a lot more other people would join because you do the prayers. That's a very for like 45 minutes to an hour's prayers, and that is
okay.
done with the family and friends, like close
Okay.
friends. And
So do
then
you
you
actually
just
pray for anything special or at that time or is it just a
no,
general
no, no.
prayer?
It is actually the prayers for goddess Lakshmi, who's the goddess of wealth. So that is the
Okay.
day that's dedicated to her. So just to, that's kind of a thing. The beginning of the next day is normally the New Year's and things like that. So basically you do the prayers for Lakshmi, for that, for you to have a better year next year, and that she'll give her blessings and so on. The same like how you do the prayers. I think meaning of the prayer is the same, but that day is dedicated to Goddess Lakshmi.
Yes, because I mean, as a jeweler, I
Yeah.
see the month before Diwali, because I have so many. I'm blessed to have so many clients from India,
Yeah, Indian. Yeah,
Indians
yeah,
as well, who come to me. That they come to me for, and they buy a lot of jewelry in that month,
yeah.
and uh, some they buy for themselves, or their husbands or their mothers buy for the children. So, I was always, I'm apprehensive to start asking so many questions, but today I think I can ask you.
Yeah, you can ask
Uh,
me freely. See, it is a tradition that we've all followed, because I think it's a way of you collecting like jewelry every year. Basically, it's an investment. And
yes,
they also feel that, like I have started, like, I have bought some stuff from you for my daughter. And it's just like you slowly build your jewelry collection. And it is also like it's believe, I mean, most mothers and most families will believe that, when you, in time of need, when you don't have cash, or you have some issues of your own, you can
yes.
actually go back to, and this is like some investment that you've done. You may not have cash, but you can, this is to protect your daughters and your daughter-in-laws, basically,
Yeah,
to
you
in the
see,
time.
in this year, Bina, I mean, the price of gold has doubled.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
it's always, whereas there's been so much uncertainty in the rest of the world,
Yeah.
but gold has doubled, and it is a store of wealth and value and security for many, many people
Yes. Yes.
who have bought over the years.
And I
And
think, when you put everything with religion, it's easy for people to accept it. They will
yes,
say that, oh, we have to buy something on Dhanteras, and we have to buy something on Diwali day, only because that becomes like easy for people to accept, especially the husbands or fathers or something like that. For them, it's
so
easy to
now that
accept.
you've brought up Dhanteras, because that is something that we really have had no exposure to, a lot of people, and a lot of
Yes.
Chinese clients also don't know what Dhanteras is. So can you just explain a little
Yeah.
bit
So,
about
well, Dhan is the
money? Yes,
no, Dhan is wealth.
yes, yes,
So wealth, and Teras is the 13th day. So this is like, they have their own, we Indians also have our own calendar, and then we follow. So 13th day is always it's normally mid-October to mid-November.
yeah.
And Dhanteras Teras means 13.
Okay.
So it's a 13th day of that month is always Dhanteras.
And what does it have to do with buying jewelry?
So it is also the prayers for the wealth you have. Basically, showing gratitude. You do like us. We do our office prayers on Dhanteras, because office is where your wealth is built, where
Yes.
you get your prosperity comes from your office space. So that's the day when we have all the books of accounts and all of these. Actually, we put it in front of our gods, and then we keep the old books and the new books, and you pray with keeping those books in front, and basically you're just praying for a better year next year. So Dhanteras is for us is also the first day of the Diwali festival, and it's one of the important days for people who have their own businesses.
Okay, of course. I
So
mean, it's just a great way of
yeah, it's
bringing
the
the
first day of
close.
starting. Yeah, and that's the
Yeah,
day when people start cleaning their homes, and they're the 5-day festival. So that's the day you put rangoli, the
yeah,
design on the floor with, yeah,
yes,
what you were doing.
and that too. I mean, that is again very specific to
Yeah,
Diwali and to Hinduism. We don't really see it in very many other
yeah. So
religions.
it's very ethnic, and it's something that even with modern homes, when you go, even though you may not do a lot of other rituals, these are some things that you will always do. Rangoli is something that people really enjoy. It's colorful. It's like it's always kept at the entrance of the house. So you know, you keep that clean and you keep that decorated, and it's the first day of the festival, and you're expecting like everything good to happen, you know.
It's very happy, it's
It's a
jolly,
very
it's
happy,
colorful.
positive, yeah.
And then, of course, when we discuss Rangoli, we have to discuss diyas and lights.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that
So
also.
basically, the diyas were also like in olden times, you know, where we didn't have lights, you know, like the electric lights. Diya
Yeah.
was something they used to use on an everyday basis. There were no candles or things. They used to do the oil diyas or ghee diyas, you know. But on the day of Diwali, it's like the whole house is
My
lit up
staff
because
has started.
yes, yes, exactly. So they used to have, these were the traditional diyas. Now you have with wax and you have it with you know, those battery operated and all. But on those times, they were none of those things were available, and it was more about, you know, using the oil diyas. But so Diwali day is like is one day that every house will have more than one diya. You know, it's just to show the because Diwali itself is a you know,
Festival of
festival
lights.
of
Yeah.
lights. You know, it's like the victory over darkness.
Yes. Yes.
You know, through light and everything, and so it just symbolizes the festivity.
Yeah, and also you have a lot of firecrackers as well.
Yeah,
Around.
that is actually all the modern things, you know, like in now again because of pollution, all no one does it. But it was one of those times where people used to get together with the firecrackers. We used to go. We've done it, like, you know, we used to go to open grounds and all our friends together, and we would have like so many firecrackers that I don't think in Singapore those would be allowed
But
also because
Singapore
they're
is
so
really not
dangerous.
allowed. I mean, you do have some quite harmless ones.
Yeah,
And
those are really
also,
quite harmless ones. Yeah.
but as growing up, I assumed that we didn't have so much urban density, and
Yeah.
uh, and that meant that most of us had open spaces where we could do this without hurting other people. But now
Yeah.
it's become a little bit
No, and
hazardous.
also we are more aware of the pollution and the things that the impact that has on the planet and all that. So it consciously now, like, it's not allowed. Even in India, where it used to be wild, I mean, there were no rules.
Yes.
We used to really go crazy. But now, when I see it, I miss that connectivity with, you know, friends and families. And you know, when you get together, you do these things. It has an impact on you for life. And I
And the
miss that.
children enjoy it so much, you know. I
Yes, so I
remember
miss
even
that my children will never know the fun part of it, but it's okay, you know, because honestly, by the end of it, there used to be so much of smoke and so much of wastage of paper and all of that. You know, like, it is actually, we were damaging
because
the planet.
there are certain events in Islamic calendar, Shab-e Barat, which is apparently the day that the Quran was given to the people, and
Yeah.
that is another time when we used to do the fireworks. And
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
whether you had this anar in India.
Yes, yeah, we used to do that.
I remember as a child when that used to go up and it was a shower of
Yeah.
fireworks. Although
It was really beautiful, I have to say. Those were like beautiful times, but
I can't
yeah.
imagine how dangerous that would have been
That
though.
and rocket and all of that. I mean, we've had accidents and things like that, but
I didn't,
it was fun and game.
I didn't think about it at that time at all.
Yeah.
But it was just joyful to watch. And then there's
Absolutely.
also mithai as well is very much a part of.
You know, sweet has been part of like every culture. Anything good happens, you share sweets. Okay.
Yeah.
Nowadays, of course, diet free, on people on different diet, and they
Yeah.
don't have sweets and all that. But it is part of our culture. And in fact, I think most of the religion has that mithai as a culture. You know, sweets
Yeah.
on good occasions, like, you know, you share like a chocolate or some sweets and all. And it's part
Yeah,
of
but
any
there's a lot of
festivity.
distribution, right? You send mithai to each other's
Yeah, yeah,
houses.
yeah. It is. It's because it's happiness. You know, it's like sharing. Those days are special. So we do like send exchange gifts and all that, and mostly it's sweets.
Okay.
It's sweets and like you know, flowers and all, and candles now. But
And
diyas, it used to be
new
diyas.
clothes as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. That would, again, there was no online shopping, so people used to buy clothes once a year during Diwali time. So every like each day they would wear those five new clothes. You know,
Okay,
I
so
mean
what's the
that was a
magic about the
ritual.
five? Why five?
Sorry.
You said five. Why five?
Because it's a festival for 5 days, so every day you wear something new.
Okay,
And
okay,
that's the
okay.
basic for people, who couldn't afford more. So those were
Okay.
the things, like even like the poorest people will always have something new to wear on the, especially on a Diwali day.
Okay, okay. So, again, there's a lot of similarities. A lot of my guests will be from Pakistan, and now that we are third generation partition,
Yeah.
my guests only know about Diwali from Bollywood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Trust
you
me,
know,
those my kids also know a lot about our culture through Bollywood movies.
yeah, yeah. So some things are overly dramatized. I mean, we are lucky that we live in a very multicultural society, so we
Yes.
enjoy each other's festivals and we can learn more. But there are many things that even people like me and some of my Chinese clients ask me when they're coming to Diwali events that are there any do's, are there any don'ts. And one of the biggest don'ts, which I think is very much taken for granted by you obviously know it, but it's also people who are not in the culture don't know that vegetarianism is very much a part of.
Yeah, but not, it's only during the time of puja. So if you're having the prayers, you don't eat non-veg at that point. But, during the festival, I mean, people have been like now very flexible about these things. You go for dinners and all that on Diwali day. They serve. Some people do serve. So it's not like rigid anymore. But initially, it was only like any day that you have, you do prayers or anything. Those days you don't have non-veg or alcohol.
Yeah, and
But
so
those are
okay, so
now,
so alcohol is also part of
it is part of like in the Hindu like beliefs. It's like the day you do pujas and things like that, and you don't normally have. But things have changed, Sarah. Everyone has now adapted to a different lifestyle, a different. We still keep the tradition, but to the ones up to where it suits us. I
yeah.
think all of us have done
I,
that.
I
You
think it's the
adjust, you do.
same. It's the same. People uh, do all the things they're not supposed to as well on Chandra and
Yeah.
other things which
No,
they
I'm
haven't
not sure
done.
because initially it was easy for people to adapt without questioning and all. Now a lot of people will, even the kids will ask you, but why? And
Yeah,
to give those answers and all, and sometimes you do feel that those were very impractical, rules for now today's age.
yeah. And it's also very difficult. I mean, for
Yeah.
most people, and me being as ignorant as most people, for most people, vegetarianism
Yeah.
I mean, eggs are part of the vegetarian diet. Now, you, for example, I mean, I salute you, Bina. I mean, you said you haven't eaten eggs yourself, and neither has your
Well, I mean,
parents and
as I said,
grandparents.
everyone is adapting to new normal now because eggs were not part of our religion. So for years, I mean, we didn't have any dessert or egg was not part of it. But when we moved to Singapore, we kind of adapted and said it is harsh on the kids to say you can go to a birthday party but can't have cakes because it has
Cake
eggs.
and all
So, we made that little bit of practical,
changes.
change. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you
And
have to.
so finally, after 25 years, I have started getting eggs in my house only in last 6 months.
My goodness. So then I
Yeah.
remember that I was at a dinner with you just the other day, and you said that, and I said, "How
Yeah.
did you grow? How did you grow?"
I know. It's a myth. You do grow. Somehow you just grow.
Yeah, and of course, people who are not within that part of the culture, we would also like to know, like, what sort of gifts when we come to your parties are within the realm of being okay, for us to bring or not to bring, or.
So basically, like normally when you go for dinners and you carry a bottle of wine or champagne, that's normally is not given for Diwali. But again, it has changed now.
Okay, and
Normally,
that's
it's
very important.
yeah,
And to,
like a box of chocolates or candles or flowers. Those are the normal things people give. How like things for the table or like decorations and all that. But
mainly
normally
mithai, right? Mainly
mostly it's sweets and yeah, like mostly
so,
sweets.
yeah, so that's part of the festive thing, and of course, like for us, certain festivals have certain dishes associated with them.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that is especially associated with Diwali, or is it just general?
No, it's generally, I mean, honestly, like, I'm from Gujarat, so on Diwali day, I would do special Gujarati food. But my in-laws are from Rajasthan, so they had the Rajasthani food. So because in every part of India, there's a different cuisine that
Yes,
is so
yes,
popular, right?
yes. And the
So
people who are not from our culture think Indian food is just
yeah, one North Indian food, right? But
it's a tikka
so it's
masala.
like there's a variety of things that you can do, and so there is no such thing as on Diwali we'll do this. But like lot of uh, people in India would have a lot of different snacks, which are all fried and deep fried, and
Yes.
those are the things that are very common. Like dry fruits are very very common during Diwali day to just have it on a coffee table for whoever's visiting you. Those are the things. But nothing
Yes.
as such food wise. There's nothing specific.
Yeah. Okay. 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 And of course, uh, so basically, when you have parties, that is basically when your non-family friends can participate, or do you
Yeah.
go on family visits, or
We
like.
don't have families here, right? I mean,
Yeah.
most of us are like here
Yes, but
without our extended
back
family.
home, it's mainly it
Yeah,
mainly a
so
family?
back home is always with family, by the way. Diwali day is only spent with family. So you
Okay,
just do your puja, then you have dinner with the family, and then you also visit your extended family
okay.
during
And
the
then
day.
one other thing. Now that you're talking about puja, and you said that it's you celebrate the goddess Lakshmi, is from my understanding, different Hindus uh, do puja of different deities, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So is Lakshmi universal during Diwali,
Yeah,
or only?
so Lakshmi is honestly all Indians, including South Indians, North Indian, Western India, everyone will have Lakshmi Puja.
Okay,
But some of them will have, like from one of the places in North India will be worshipping Krishna
okay,
because there was like during that time, Krishna, killed a demon called Nasukara or Nasura or something like that, and he had captured 16,000 young girls or princesses, and he killed him and then released all those princesses, and so that became an auspicious day for people who believe in Krishna.
okay.
Then Ram and Sita also came, they were in exile for 14 years, and then they had this huge war with Ravan, a guy, like a
These
demon
are
with.
all mythical stories or not?
Sorry?
These stories are mythical or not?
Yeah, I think they're mythical, but there
No, but
must be.
I'm not saying whether you think. I mean, do the Hindus believe that they're mythical, or
No,
do
so
the Hindus?
it depends on which Hindu you're talking about. People who really believe in, like, deeply into gods and all, they believe it happened. But like
Okay.
modern people will find it hard to believe that the Ram walked over on sea with on air basically, and he traveled to the next to Sri Lanka basically to kill Ravan. It's kind of hard to believe those things, right?
I know,
But
Bina, but every religion has things
every
that are not
religion, so it's
that.
your perspective. Honestly, I
Yeah.
think every religion has some myths and some beliefs. Some people will take it very seriously and believe everything that your religion tells you, and some people find a practical way to say, I'm just telling you what I think and I believe. It's definitely not universal, right? If you
Okay.
ask some people in India, they believe that Ram actually went to exile, and in fact, if you go to Indonesia, there's a cave that Ram crossed from India and went to Indonesia. So Indonesians also believe in Ram.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
it's very interesting to know that there must be something, but I like the facts can be twisted, right?
Yes. But
So
Hinduism is one of the oldest religions,
yeah, yeah,
that ever existed.
yeah. And it did expand like to more than it traveled around the world also. But I
yes,
think there
and
are I
a
mean
lot through
honestly I don't know
Southeast
much.
Asia. That's why we have Angkor Wat in Vietnam. We
Yeah,
have
yes, yes, yes.
George. and it's traveled extensively. And one other question I must ask, because this is a big question amongst many people, ask me, is does every family have certain deities they believe in, and how do you determine that these are the ones that you are going to worship? And is there when you do disagree with other people who have believe in or worship different deities, how does it come about of your
So
group
are you
of
talking about just Diwali time, or you're talking about
no,
generally?
generally.
No, generally, you know, there's so many religion in India, and people believe and they worship whoever. I am a Jain, and in our religion, it says they respect every other religion. So I go to a mosque, I go to a church. I mean, we pray just about like we go to any temple
Yeah,
or mosque or
I know.
something. We don't have anything, and no one will say that you can't do it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you
some
worship
people in
it.
India are rigid and they will say, I only worship this God and this is our family God and that's all. So it's very individual, and there is no such rule that in India you have to worship this particular God. No.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you, Bina. We've chatted for about half an hour, and
Oh my God, that's amazing. I can't believe I did.
and it really actually enlightened me also on many things. Although I thought I always think I know it all, but
Neither do I. Trust me, there's so much into this. I mean, I had never got into deeper
yes,
into
but
religion except
you
for
know,
the.
I think it's really important to have a deeper understanding and to be able to respect each other. In Singapore, we are very lucky that
Yeah, I
all the
agree. Everyone
holidays,
can.
yeah, and even the government gives all the different religions the public holiday off, and
Yeah.
we can celebrate with each other, and it's just so nice. I'm just feeling so put out this year that we haven't been able to have our usual
Yeah.
celebration
So I
that
want to
we
just
have.
tell you one thing that only in Singapore I've seen. I mean, not I shouldn't say only in Singapore, but I have noticed this in Singapore that the Hindu temple and the church, they're in two or three places are next to each other, which I have not seen that in
Yes,
India at all. And I think that's so
yes,
unique to Singapore. It may be in other
yes,
places in the world, but I haven't been, exposed to that. And I feel
yes.
that way. I feel that every religion has a space in Singapore and a respect.
Yes, and you don't have to defend yourself, and you also never feel like you're challenged or under threat.
Yes.
And so many
And people
people,
are so willingly, celebrating everything. Like I come to your Eid lunches and all. We
yes,
look forward to Eid iftaris and all that. The same way
yes,
you guys come to Diwali festivals
yes,
and Holi and all of that. We celebrate
yes,
together.
yes, and we really enjoy it, and we really take it to the have take it to the extent that we can, and we
Yes,
really feel
absolutely.
happy in each other's in each other's, and I really wish that this little cosmos we could replicate in different
Other
parts of the world.
places, yes.
We are living in times when there's a lot of there's a lot of friction between different cultures and classes and even beliefs. So,
Yeah.
I think that, oh, Shonali's asked a question. Can you show any baubles? Dina,
Can you
can you
see
show
what?
some, can you show any of the pieces that you bought in Diwali from me? Is
Oh,
if you have
yes.
any
Some
requires?
I'm wearing. My favorite ones I'm already wearing. So this is
Okay.
one of my favorite, most favorite of yours.
Oh yes, I've seen you. I've seen you. It's like
This
a
is, I
Bali.
think I've worn this the most.
Yeah, so it's a very east-west piece,
Yeah, Eastern,
and
Western, you can, dress it up, dress down, everything.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
something I bought for my daughter in like one of the your
Oh,
Diwali
the
shows.
baubles, and then
I don't know if you
kara.
can see it properly.
Yes, yes. Oh,
I want
okay,
to tell you,
okay.
but I have taken out because I knew I should actually tell people about how I know you and why I support you so much. I'll tell you some of the things that I inherited, and they were like traditionally set, and I could never wear them. And you changed this for me, and this is
Yeah,
something that I can wear it all the time.
yeah. So I enjoy, because a lot of the, we live in a country where we don't have constant weddings and all to go to. So I just feel that it's better to modernize our jewelry, and I don't totally destroy the piece. I try and keep the sanctity of the piece, but
Yes.
make it lighter so that it can be worn in a more informal setting
Yeah.
than
So the
than
other one is this, that my mother used favorite this
that's
pearl
a very
top.
emotional piece for you. I remember you
Yeah,
bought
and
that.
then you added this, and I don't think I've worn this a lot after that. So before
Yes,
that, it
yes,
was
yes,
hard to wear. Just this was my mother's favorite, so I wanted to always keep it the way it was. So I didn't
yes,
want to change that. But you
yes.
added this, and it just became like a very unusual piece for me.
Because you like longer earrings,
Yes,
and
I
then
do. I do. Yeah,
it
that is
became
true.
something you could wear a little
Yeah.
more casually.
This
So,
is the another one that I love. I think I'm showing
oh, this is
that.
like the waterfall one. It's all
Waterfall.
shaded.
This is my one
Uh,
of my favorites as well. I don't know if you
and
can see it properly.
yeah, Veena, that anyway, really sweet of you to show some of the
Now,
pieces.
I want to show you one that the first I bought from you is this.
Oh, the
Do you
butterfly
remember
ring.
this?
Yeah, very 3D, a lot
Very
of
3D.
movement, butterflies
Yes.
that go all the way around.
Yes.
And I think your daughter likes this one. This is very
Yeah, I
easy
mean,
for
I've kept
young
it for
people
my
to.
daughter, to be honest. Yeah. And I added the earrings and this ring later. So,
Yeah, the movable ring as well.
yeah.
Movable ring as well.
So,
Okay,
yes.
thank you, Beena. And I
You're
just want
welcome.
to let the audience know that this will be available on my IGTV and during the entire month that before we have Diwali. And we've learned so much from Beena, who's always been a bridge between many social and cultural groups in Singapore. And I really admire that about you, Beena. I think you
Thank
do
you.
so much. And what I really admire is that you do it silently and with no fuss and with no stress.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you so much. That is the sweetest thing. Thank you.
I
Thank
think
you for
it's
inviting me to your show.
no, because I mean I think you were the perfect person to because you're so acquainted with the Indian community here and you're also entrenched within
Yes.
the local Chinese community. That I think it's nice to have a bridge and to be able to bring people together in being able to understand each other, which I just think builds stronger bridges and bonds. So
Thank you so
thank you
much.
for coming on
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
and doing what you always do so well.
Thank you, Sarah. And
Okay.
you do exactly what you do and better.
Thank you. Bye bye.